So today feels like it's been a bit of a dilemma, just in my energy, feel really flat, kind of a depressed, low energy, and on my reader, my breath test, the hydrogen is very low on the SIBO breath test that I'm doing from home on my Airy device. So that's a really good sign. I've just eaten meat today, that's it, meat and bacon, in like I just cooked it in water. I had some of the water with it as well. It's like a stock. And but what's interesting is today is my first day without Kefir. I decided today I'm kicking it in the head, and just because of this forever bloat that I've got. It's always there. It's like at the top of my where my stomach is, like where the sternum is. Actually, it feels just like there's a lot of pressure there, and I'm always bloated there. And now that I'm feeling somewhat clear from being on the carnivore diet, mostly carnivore, I'm just aware of this constant bloat that's in this position where my stomach is, and I suspect it's histamine. I don't feel like I've got the brain to really articulate it. It's histamine today, and I don't really know a great deal about it other than it can cause a lot of problems within the gut, a lot of symptoms. And if you're somebody that has gut issues like me and you have intestinal bacterial overgrowth, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or a fungal overgrowth, candida, SIBO, whatever you want to call it, mold, there's also a good chance that you have high histamine and mast cell activation, which cause a whole range of symptoms, just like SIBO, just like IBS. And I think today, because I haven't had the Kefir, which is high histamine, there's clearly some change going on, and I feel so weak. I've just been to the gym. I did a really light session, and I normally find it hard to do such a light session like that. Just stretching and mobility, very light warm up, and that was it. But it's on days like today, if I go to the gym, I would get injured if I push myself, which I did last year, one too many times, and I don't want to be out of exercise. And it was kind of interesting, not interesting, it was like synchronistic, a bit of a blessing, or an omen, you could say. There's a girl in the gym who was training, and she was complaining about injuries, and she'd overdone it, and she was out of exercise now because she's strained one of the muscles, and it really helped to give me the nudge to say I intended to have an easy session anyway. Even before I went in there, I was thinking, right, nice light easy session, and not going to stay in too long, not going to get my heart rate up. Again, something that I understand about histamine is if you train excessively or high intensity, that can also create more problems with more histamine production, mast cell activation. I guess it's stressing the system, so it's just compounding the problem, which makes you feel more bloated, and you have more symptoms, more tired, joint pain, like the symptoms I get from histamine. This is a suspected histamine intolerance, just from what I've read up online and how my body feels and responds either when I don't eat food or when I do eat food. My body can change quite a lot throughout the day, and I can get really cold hands. There's a little bit of anxiety. I get skin rashes. It's very similar to SIBO. And I get tinnitus as well. When I go to bed at night, I become aware of like a ring that's there, and that's not there all the time. It's only there when, like last night, what a nightmare. So with good intention, I've made some bone broth, which you can see in that big 13-litre pot on the stove. That's almost 48. It's probably 48 hours now, so it's ready to come off. And that's what I was intending to cook my meat on every day for the next 2 weeks. But bone broth also contains high histamine, so it's going to be a no-go. I'm not going to be including, but even though it's got loads of collagen and good minerals, and it's very healing, it's not going to be in my protocol anymore. I've got to kick it out while I deal with this suspected histamine intolerance or mast cell activation. So the kefir's gone today, no bone broth. I had the bone broth last night, and it was, I became aware that I was more bloated, and then when I woke up this morning, I was still really bloated, and my energy just wasn't good. I was feeling low, and the only thing that I changed was the bone broth, interestingly. So yeah, today, no bone broth, no kefir, yogurt, no homemade yogurt I'm not having, and other foods that also contain high histamine are all the fermented stuff. So anything that's like considered healthy in the health world, if you've got a histamine problem, can actually be counterproductive and cause more harm than good, which I've had a hard lesson, because I've done all the ferments and all the homemade, sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir, kombucha, water kefir, and I've been doing it for years, and I've only recently learned about histamine. So yeah, still installing that into the lifestyle, and just letting everything go. It's really, this diet is becoming more and more simplified. It's becoming more and more carnivore each day. So other foods, let me just start from the top. Bone broth, kefir, yogurt, kombucha, sauerkraut, kvass, I guess tempeh, maybe even tofu. I don't know. I'm meant to for sure. I'm just guessing there. Dark chocolate apparently, maybe peanuts, and any cooked proteins that have been left in the fridge. I think the longer they're left in the fridge, the more histamine they will develop. Like, so when we're eating food, if we have a histamine problem or dealing with anything like IBS or SIBO and you suspect histamine, I think it's important to just cook your food and eat it there and then. Don't eat any leftovers. Let the leftovers go to, whoever or whatever, your pet, some animals outside, feed the birds, whatever, or give it to your family. Yeah, so that's it for today. There's not a lot of juice, there's not a lot of motivation or energy. It's on days like today where I don't really want to do a video because I just feel so dull and flat, and but I'm pretty sure it's good. I'm hopeful that tomorrow will be a better day. There's just a change going on from having the bone broth last night, not having kefir today, and days like today also, I want to cave in. I feel like I want to give up, like as though something's not working. Like I'm putting all this, because all I've eaten today is meat, and I could get the wrong idea and think, right, I've only eaten meat and I feel so weak and I feel so tired. But without being aware of all this histamine stuff and stopping the kefir, and that's going to have an effect on my microbiome, and there's just change going on. So I'm not going to cave in. I'm going to persist, and I don't think I'll have a meal this evening. Just going to take it easy, have a hot bath, get an early night, and start again tomorrow, hopefully in a better position with less histamine in my system and more capacity to have higher states of energy. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.